Have you ever paused to consider something so deeply embedded in our daily lives, something so universally present that we just take it for granted?
Probably not often, right?
Exactly. I'm talking about something as simple as a fork, a spoon, or maybe a knife. They're hardly glamorous, are they?
Not really, no.
We grab them, use them, clean them, and probably never give them a second thought. But what if these seemingly mundane items are part of a surprisingly vast, dynamic global market? We're talking, well, not just millions, but billions.
Yeah, it's truly intriguing how these basic tools can actually tell us so much about larger economic currents. They sort of reflect shifts in consumption and development worldwide.
Okay.
So today, we're taking a deep dive into the evolving landscape of the global cutlery market. We're pulling insights from a new report by Cognitive Market Research.
Right.
And our mission really is to uncover the surprising scale of this often overlooked industry, pinpoint its key regional powerhouses, and maybe shed some light on the emerging trends shaping its future.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Let's start with the big picture because the numbers here are, well, they're genuinely eye-opening.
They really are.
This isn't just about the utensils in your kitchen drawer. According to the report, the global cutlery market was valued at over $8.3 billion. That's US dollars in 2021.
8.3 billion.
Think about that. Billions for something we use every single day. And it's not just holding steady, it's projected to grow to over $10 billion by 2025, and then reach nearly $15 billion by 2033,
Wow.
showing a robust compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of almost 5%, 4.935% to be exact.
Right. And when we connect this to the broader economic narrative, this consistent growth for what is essentially a basic household good, it's quite significant.
Yeah.
It's not like a volatile speculative market. It's foundational. This steady demand, this expansion forecast, it really points to underlying global economic stability and maybe strong consumer confidence, even when facing various challenges.
That stable foundation makes you wonder where the significant growth is really concentrated. Let's dig into the established markets first. How about Europe?
Okay, Europe, yeah, it currently holds the largest market share. It was valued at nearly $2.8 billion back in 2021.
Almost $3 billion just in Europe.
Exactly. And is projected to climb to over $4.7 billion by 2033. That's with a solid growth rate, a CAGR of about 4.65%.
Okay, pretty steady growth there. Any particular countries driving that?
Well, within Europe, Germany particularly stands out as a huge contributor in 2021. And it's projected to almost double its value by 2033. It's showing the highest European CGR at over 5.3%.
Over 5% in Germany alone. Wow.
Yeah. The report suggests Germany's strong manufacturing base and maybe a cultural emphasis on, durable quality kitchenware likely contribute to this sustained demand.
Makes sense.
And other key players like the United Kingdom are also seeing strong growth, close to a 5% CAGR as well. France and Italy are contributing substantial revenue too, both showing consistent increases, in the 4% range for their KGRs.
Okay.
And then you have several other European markets, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, they're also showing healthy growth, somewhere between, let's say, 3.9% and 4.9% CAGR.
So it's clear Europe's market is both large and, well, steadily growing. Now let's shift our focus across the Atlantic. What about North America?
Right. North America, also a substantial piece of the pie. Its value is just over $1.6 billion in 2021.
Okay.
And it's forecasted to reach over $2.5 billion by 2033. The AGRs there is about 4%, a little lower than Europe overall, but still very solid.
And within North America, the U.S. must be huge.
Oh, absolutely. The United States naturally remains the dominant player. It accounts for the vast majority of the regional market, and it's showing steady growth, nearly 4% CAGR.
Right.
Canada also demonstrates healthy expansion. Its CAGR is actually a bit higher, over 4.7%.
Yeah.
And Mexico is likewise contributing to this growth, with its market growing by over 4.2% annually.
Okay.
This raises an interesting question. What specific strategies are these established markets using to maintain such consistent growth, even as, mature economies?
Yeah, what's the secret sauce there?
Are we seeing more premiumization, maybe? Or perhaps innovation in design, materials? The report doesn't dive super deep into that, but it's worth thinking about.
That's a great point. How does a mature market keep that momentum? But, okay, if we want to talk about dynamism, here's where it gets really interesting. The engines of rapid growth.
Ah, yes.
Asia Pacific. The report flags this as the fastest growing region in this entire market.
It absolutely is. The numbers are quite stark.
It started at nearly $2.6 billion in 2021,
There.
projected to almost double in value, hitting over $5 billion by 2033.
5 billion.
Driven by a powerful CAGR of almost 5.7%. The dynamism there, it's truly phenomenal.
It really is. And what's fascinating here is how these rapid growth rates often align with, well, expanding middle classes and evolving consumer habits across these regions.
Makes sense.
China, for instance, is leading this surge. It's projected to nearly double its market value by 2033, with a CAGR close to 5.9%.
Almost 6% in China.
But India is truly notable. It boasts the highest CAGR in the entire region, over 6.6%.
2.6. Wow. What's driving that specifically?
Well, again, the report points towards that growing middle class,
Yeah.
people increasingly investing in quality homeware,
Yeah.
or maybe it's the rapid expansion of the food service industry, hotels, restaurants across these areas, driving demand for more specialized or just durable cutlery.
Got it.
Japan also contributes significantly, still a large market, and we see similarly high growth in places like Singapore. That's over 6% CGR.
Mm-hmm.
And across Southeast Asia as a whole, that's showing a CGR over 6.3%.
Those numbers coming out of Asia Pacific are truly impressive, just incredible growth. And South America isn't far behind in terms of that rapid expansion feel.
That's right. Not as large in absolute terms as Asia Pacific, but the growth rate is strong. Its market was around $738 million in 2021.
Okay.
And it's poised to reach nearly $1.35 billion by 2033. That's growing at a solid 5.14% CAGR.
Still over 5%. Who are the main players there?
Brazil led the South American market in 2021, and Argentina is set to nearly double its revenue by 2033.
Doubling. Okay.
Yeah, and Chile is also demonstrating a healthy growth rate, over 5.3% CAGR for Chile.
Right.
These figures really reflect the kind of economic vitality emerging in these regions. It signals a growing consumer base for everyday goods like cutlery.
Okay, so beyond these established giants like Europe and North America and the rapid growth engines in Asia Pacific and South America, we also have emerging markets showing strong potential, right? Even if they start from a smaller base.
Exactly. The Middle East, for instance, valued at over $453 million in 2021. It's forecasted to reach over $825 million by 2033. That's growing at over 5.1% annually, another region above that 5% mark.
So strong percentage growth. Who's leading there?
Key players in the Middle East include Saudi Arabia and Turkey. Both are projected to nearly double their market value over the next decade or so.
Okay.
And the UAE is also growing particularly rapidly. Its CAGR is pegged at over 5.7%.
Wow, UAE is really moving.
Yeah. And looking at the broader context here, this sort of underscores the increasing global reach of consumer markets and maybe the potential for new manufacturing hubs or distribution networks to emerge in these areas.
Interesting point. And finally, let's look at Africa. What's the picture there?
Africa's market reached over $235 million in 2021. The projection is for it to grow to over $428 million by 2033.
Okay, still significant growth.
It is. The CAGR is healthy at 4.424%.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite the explosive rates of Asia Pacific, but solid, steady growth.
And the biggest contributors?
Nigeria and South Africa are the key ones mentioned. Nigeria is projected to reach about $76 million by 2033. And South Africa projected to hit $172.5 million by then. These are important growth trajectories, for a continent with immense untapped potential and a rapidly urbanizing population. Lots of future possibilities there.
Absolutely. So, okay, we've covered the regions, the big numbers, but beyond the raw data, what else can this report tell us about the cutlery market itself? Are there any interesting trends shaping what kind of cutlery is being sold or maybe how it's being sold?
Yes, absolutely. While the report's main focus is market sizing, it does hint at several underlying trends driving this growth.
Like what?
Well, for instance, there seems to be an increasing demand for more specialized cutlery sets. Think specific steak knives or fish forks or even dedicated dessert sets.
Ah, okay. People getting fancier at home.
Exactly. It likely reflects a rise in home entertaining, maybe more interest in gourmet cooking. We're also seeing a push towards more sustainable or eco-friendly options.
Right. That makes sense.
Consumers are showing interest in durable, reusable materials, maybe moving away from disposable plastics where possible, even in everyday cutlery.
Good to hear.
E-commerce is, of course, a massive driver. No surprise there. It just makes a wider variety of designs, materials, price points accessible globally.
Yeah, you can buy pretty much any kind of fork online now.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And then there's an aesthetic shift mentioned, too, towards minimalist or perhaps rustic designs being popular, particularly in those mature markets like Europe and North America.
That's fascinating. It really connects the dots, doesn't it, between the big economic growth numbers and, well, how people are actually living and what they value.
Precisely.
So what does this all mean for you, our curious listener? We've explored how the global cutlery market, this seemingly mundane industry, is actually a multi-billion-dollar powerhouse.
Hmm?
It's on a robust growth trajectory. And different regions play really distinct roles in its expansion.
Yeah.
You've got the leading established markets like Europe and North America.
Steady growth there.
Then the dynamic, high-growth emerging economies, especially in Asian Pacific and South America.
Really driving the future expansion.
And then these promising future markets in the Middle East and Africa showing strong potential.
Yeah. This raises an important question, I think. Beyond just the numbers, what does the consistent growth in something as fundamental, as basic as cutlery, tell us about global economic stability and maybe consumer confidence, even when we face various global challenges?
That's a deep point. What does it suggest?
Well, it suggests a basic, ongoing need for everyday essentials that just persists. Even as economies diversify and grow, it reflects human habits, foundational needs, really, across all cultures.
Indeed. That's a crucial insight. So next time you pick up a fork or a spoon, maybe consider this.
Hmm.
What other seemingly mundane objects in your daily life are part of some hidden multi-billion-dollar global market that you've never even considered? How do these micro trends, like our humbled cutlery, connect to the massive global economic shifts happening all around us?
It's definitely something to ponder, how the small things connect to the very big picture. Okay, think about this. How often do you actually notice the fork or spoon you're using? Probably not much, right? We just, pick them up. But there's this whole world behind that simple utensil, a world of economics, changing tastes, even environmental concerns. So today, we're doing a deep dive into cutlery. Yeah, cutlery, it's everywhere, homes, restaurants use constantly. But the industry itself, it's surprisingly dynamic, always changing because of how we live, what we demand in terms of sustainability, and some really cool tech innovations.
That's absolutely spot on. And for this deep dive, we've really gone through some comprehensive sources, pulling out the key insights, especially the detailed analysis from cognitive market research. They've done a great job laying out, the forces really shaping this everyday market.
Right. So our mission today is to unpack all of that. We want to find out what's driving the growth, what challenges the industry is facing, and what exciting trends are coming next. Okay, let's dig in and see what's really going on with our knives, forks, and spoons. So first things first, what's actually powering the growth here? Why is this market expanding so much? Well, our sources are pointing to something huge. The boom in hospitality and food service, especially, it seems, in emerging economies. You've got hotels, restaurants, catering, even those cloud kitchens popping up everywhere. And they all need cutlery, constantly.
Absolutely. It's a massive demand driver, and it ranges, from disposable stuff for quick service places right up to really elegant, durable sets for fine dining. The need is just constant.
Okay, so that's the business side. But what about us, the consumers? How are our habits changing things?
Well, that's the other really interesting piece. There's this clear shift towards wanting premium, more aesthetically pleasing cutlery at home. It seems like dining at home isn't just routine anymore. It's becoming more of an experience.
Right, like setting the scene.
Exactly. So people, particularly in cities, maybe with a bit more disposable income, they're investing in it. They want stylish designs, good ergonomics, things that look good, feel good. We're seeing things like stainless steel, but with matte finishes, or ceramic coatings. Even artisanal, like handcrafted pieces are getting popular.
I mean, I guess it's easier than ever to find that kind of stuff now, right, with online shopping.
Oh, completely. That's been a real game changer. E-commerce. Platforms like Amazon, Wayfair, even IKEA online, they've just blown the market wide open in terms of accessibility.
How so?
Well, you can browse huge selections, read reviews, compare styles, get it delivered to your door. It's never been easier. And for the brands, it's a massive opportunity. They can reach customers way outside their traditional areas.
So it connects niche brands with interested buyers.
Precisely. But it also means they have to be smart about it. Good online branding, maybe interesting packaging, ways to stand out in that crowded digital space. It's really shaking up how brands connect with people, forcing everyone, even the big established names, to adapt their strategies.
Okay, so growth from hospitality, consumer demand for better stuff, and e-commerce making it all accessible. But it can't all be smooth sailing. What are the challenges? What are the headwinds here?
Yeah, there are definitely some significant hurdles. One of the big ones highlighted in the research is the volatility of raw material prices.
Like the cost of steel.
Exactly. Stainless steel, aluminum, even the plastics used for some types, these prices can swing quite a bit.
Mm.
Think about global politics, trade issues, supply chain kinks left over from the pandemic. It all feeds in.
Directly hits manufacturers' costs, I assume.
Directly. It squeezes their margins, and often, unfortunately, that extra cost gets passed down the line.
Right, to us.
So, yeah, it creates this constant pressure on profitability and pricing.
Okay, and what about the environment? We hear so much about single-use plastics. That must be a huge issue for cutlery, especially the disposable kind.
Oh, absolutely critical. You've got regulations tightening up everywhere, bans on single-use plastics in many regions.
So manufacturers are under pressure to find alternatives.
Immense pressure. They have to pivot towards eco-friendly options. But here's the catch.
The cost.
Exactly. You mentioned price sensitivity earlier. Things like bamboo or wood or newer compostable materials, they often cost more to produce than traditional plastic.
Oh, it's a tricky balancing act.
It really is. In places like Europe or North America, consumers might pay a premium for sustainability. But in other markets, that higher price point can be a real barrier. So yeah, it's about innovating sustainably, but also keeping it affordable enough for the market. It's a tough puzzle.
And adding to that complexity, you mentioned earlier, it's a crowded market.
Very much so. It's highly fragmented. You have lots of smaller local makers competing alongside a few big global players.
Which means,
Fierce competition. It can lead to price wars, sometimes inconsistent quality maybe, and it makes it really hard for brands, especially smaller ones, to build loyalty. You really need something special, either serious innovation or significant investment to properly stand out. It's a tough environment to break into or even just maintain your position in.
okay, so challenges with costs, sustainability transitions, and a super competitive landscape. But industries adapt. This is where it gets exciting. How is the cutlery world responding? What are the cool trends?
Well, building directly on that environmental pressure, the biggest trend is probably the massive shift towards those eco-friendly solutions. It's not just a reaction, it's becoming a core driver. Companies are really innovating now.
With new materials.
Yes, really interesting ones. Things derived from cornstarch or wheat straw, even palm leaves, biodegradable, compostable options. And it's clear, especially like we said in Europe and North America, that sustainability is genuinely influencing buying decisions now. It's not just talk.
And beyond the actual fork or knife, what about how it's presented? You mentioned packaging earlier.
Yeah, that's another key area, smart packaging and branding. It's fascinating, actually. Brands are thinking about the whole experience. Minimalist designs are popular. Sometimes you see QR codes on the box.
What for?
Could be anything. Cleaning instructions, maybe the story behind the brand or the materials used. It connects you more to the product. And things like premium boxed sets, especially for gifting. It elevates cutlery from just a tool to, a desirable object.
Making it more of a lifestyle product.
Exactly. It helps build that brand value, that equity, which is so important in a market with so many choices.
Okay, materials, packaging.
Mm-hmm.
What about the actual manufacturing? Is technology changing how cutlery is made or designed?
Definitely. Technology is playing a huge role in improving both the product and the process. You've got things like laser cutting being used now
For precision.
for incredible precision and allowing for really intricate designs that maybe weren't feasible at scale before. Robotics are also streamlining production, making it more efficient, more consistent. And then there are innovations in the materials themselves. Antimicrobial coatings for better hygiene, for instance.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, or treatments that make cutlery genuinely dishwasher safe for longer without degrading. The focus is really on longevity, hygiene, and of course that modern look. Some companies are even using things like 3D printing, especially for prototyping new bespoke designs quickly. It allows for a lot of customization potential.
Wow. So it's really not just stamped metal anymore. There's a lot going on.
Not at all. It's quite sophisticated.
So wrapping this up, It's clear that something as basic, seemingly, as cutlery sits right at this intersection of, well, everyday utility or changing lifestyles and these really big sustainability questions.
Absolutely. And understanding these dynamics, whether you're maybe investing in hospitality or you're a product designer looking for trends, or honestly, even if you just care about setting a nice table at home, it gives you valuable insight into much broader shifts happening in consumer behavior and industry.
So maybe the next time you pick up your fork, just pause for a second.
Yeah.
Think about the journey it took, the global forces, the innovation, the values, environmental, aesthetic that went into making that simple tool. Maybe you'll notice the material, the weight, the finish a bit differently after our chat today. And just a reminder, all the insights we discussed in this deep dive were sourced from cognitive market research.